All right. Let us talk about the ubiquitous carbine. So what am I going to add to this discussion? Well, we're going to talk about some really important stuff. How you mount this gun, how you get consistent results, and how you can run it fast and hard. I'm not talking about the shit where you see dudes running videos and it looks good, but they don't show you the target. I'm talking about being able to keep stuff in something like a Post-it note, 15, 20 yards and in, fast, hard, and accurate. Why? Why is that important? Well, why have a gun like this to begin with if you're not going to use it for what it's for? What does this do that a pistol doesn't? Well, we can extend our righteous will farther, right? Why do we carry a gun? To protect ourselves. If you're using it for something else, cool. What else? Well, besides being able to extend our will farther away, it gives you a greater level of power. That's a fact. More rounds, higher power rounds, right? Something else I must add. Probably nobody under 40, maybe under 45, maybe under 50 has really invented anything or come up with anything new on how to run these guns fast and hard. I challenge you to look up guys like Bennie Cooley, D.R. Middlebrooks. You know, that whole C-clamp, that's not new. Bennie Cooley was doing that years ago. Look him up. Pay respect and homage where it's due. That said, what's our ad? I just want to make some simple points. So, because we know the goal is being able to deliver rounds effectively to finite target zones. I don't give a shit how fast you can make the gun make noise. I care about how fast, if speed is even a component, you can deliver accurate hits, something like a Post-it note. Well, why, Mick? Why is a Post-it note important? Well, because we're not using guns like this to fire indiscriminately into crowds of people or in our own home, right? If you start using a weapon like this and you live in a neighborhood, your house is probably not made out of AR plate steel. Think about that. And even if your home was built out of solid brick, solid block, solid concrete, you have windows. We must be able to discriminate where these rounds are going. All that's for a different discussion. So what can we add? Some things to think about. We want consistency in how we interface with this gun. Just like our pistol draw stroke, our grip, the way that we interact with the trigger, the way that we see the sights, we want consistency. I want the same thing with the long gun. You want consistency. Where you grip the gun, where the gun interfaces with your shoulder or shoulders, because you should be training both sides. Pressures, the way that you see through the optic. You want consistency. Be strong. That's number 2. Be strong. By be strong, I don't mean be strong, little fella, it's going to be all right. I mean be strong. Get strong behind the gun. I've been using this in class. What kind of a man do you want to be? Do you want your friends or the lady in your life to recognize you as a flaccid man, a floppy, weak man, or as a strong man? That's pretty self-evident, right? Nobody wants to be identified as flaccid. You want to be strong. You want to win $1 million? That's number 3. What do I mean by that? Well, check it out. So I often ask students on the line, and we talk about the way that we stand. Guys will say natural action shooting stance. Some guys will say a fighting stance. Here's something really easy to think about to put your brain into the space I'm talking about. Hey, do you want to win $1 million? If you are the first guy to run over that berm or run and touch that tree, whatever, you're going to win $1 million. On your mark, get set. You're going to feel your center of gravity drop. You're going to feel, most likely, if you've got any level of physicality, you're going to feel your weight drop towards your toes. In order for you to move in a direction, your weight has to go in that direction. Because we want to be able to control and work with the recoil of the gun, I want my weight to be forward bias. Does it have to be? No, but we're talking about building something that gives us the best opportunity for success. So, do you want to win $1 million? On your mark, get set, go. You're going to feel your body posture drop forward. And if this is something, if you're not a physical guy or a physical girl, practice. Go talk to somebody that's a sprinter. Talk to somebody that knows how to dance or box and start to figure out some of these footwork things. Be a meat vice. Meat vice. So when we're talking about the pistol, we talk about high, tight, good grip on the gun. With the long gun, our dominant hand rather, most of you guys are righties, we're not crushing on this pistol grip. On the contrary, we don't have a very strong grip on that pistol grip. In a lot of sense, depending on the required accuracy, this hand can be somewhat loose. A lot of the force and control is coming between the shoulder and the support hand, which brings up the next thing, clamp and close. Clamp and close. So being a meat vise in these next couple points are going to come together. So here's the meat of the matter. When I say be a meat vise, this thing's steel, right? Steel and plastic, aluminum, whatever. It's metal. Probably we're not going to be able to push enough. If I pushed here and I clamped down here and I pushed, I probably can't crush it, right? Cool, that's a perfect thing. If we could bend it, it wouldn't be a very good gun. So, if I've got this gun mounted to this correct anchor point where I've got a good line of sight through my optic, I'm going to grab the rail, depending on where I want it. If you want to come over the top of the gun and you want to be one of those guys, or you want to come low, I don't care. But here's the thing that you have to think about. This distance from where my support hand contacts the gun in my shoulder, or rather the shoulder of the buttstock, let's just say this is 28 inches from my heel to the buttstock. We're just making a number up. We'll say it's 28 inches. That's not going to change, right? That's not going to change. So I want this hand, this support hand, I want it locked out. I want this solid. That's why I said be strong. I'm going to grip in a consistent spot. I'm going to be strong with that shoulder. And then I said clamp and close. So I'm clamped here with my support hand, close. What does close look like? Look at this. Look at this. Hey, get away. Get away. I'm trying to use this shoulder to push this buttstock forward. Get away, you. It sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Get away. Hey, stop it. I'm going to take that shoulder and I'm going to push forward and I'm going to hold. So this distance, that 28.5 inches, I'm crushing into it. Of course, I'm not going to collapse the gun, but what's happening is from here to here on my body is pushing into the gun. How much? As much as you need to. It depends. If you're a super strong guy, if you're built like a big ball of meat and muscle, you're going to get a different result and require a different level of force than a 90-pound person that has little makeup of muscle. So it depends. You may need to apply more force. So if gun's pulled into me, now check out my shoulder. Forward. Now look at my hand though. See how the whole gun's moving? Here's the ticket. When I say clamp and close, look at my hand, look at my shoulder. So now see the muzzle, look at the end of the gun. Now I'm going to relax this support hand, moving the shoulder. Look, everything moves. Who gives a shit if this is pushing forward, if I'm moving everything? The ticket is I need to pull back. Boom. Close that gap here. That's where it's happening. Now I can work the trigger and work the safety selector with a pretty relaxed dominant hand. Other side, this is the way I shoot because I'm blind in that other eye. But as I've mounted here, I'm pulling back in. I've got that shoulder driving forward. And when I say driving, I'm not like push, push every time I press the trigger. I'm clamped in. And this just happens just like this. I could walk around like this all day long or until it threw my back out. Because if I'm doing this correctly, I'm driving into the gun. Driving into the gun. It feels better on this side because I have more time behind it. Check it out. That's it. One thing I will also tell you is you never need to do what somebody else is doing. What you need to do is find what works for you. Not because you're special and you don't need to do what somebody else is doing. Not everybody, as I already stated, has the same bone structure as you, the same density of bone, the same amount of muscle, the same tension and flexibility of tendons and sinew and ligaments. So you know what tells the tale? The target. So if you're shooting and you're concerned about the shot timer because you want to see your splits, but you're not equally as focused on what type of accuracy you're getting, it's a waste of time and ammunition. The whole point of the gun is to hit a target. I got to let this out. I'm really tired of the whole how fast can I go? if you can't be really accurate. For one, it's very disingenuous as for what the purpose of the gun is. We have this sacred trust between us citizens that we call the Second Amendment. We hold this in such a high and dear regard. As such, we should put a high level of respect into the training that we put into these guns. I don't want to do anything that would ever cause unrighteous, illegal harm to somebody, be it through negligence or an accident. I need to train with that in mind. So start to think about, as you're running these guns, if your training is not resulting in a high level of accuracy, maybe stop the speed bullshit and get back to the basics. There's a lot of people, and I'm harping on this because I've watched it for a number of years. There's a lot of dudes that are really good, and I've met these guys in person and seen them on ranges, and they don't like when I call them out because they're shooting all over a target. But you don't see that because the videos they put out show boom, 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 boom. They might show steel ringing, but they're not showing the good tight hits that we're looking for. The power of the gun is a very, very great thing when used for righteous reasons or for fun. Let's train with that in mind. Let's train getting strong behind the gun. Close the distance between the hand and the shoulder. This locks, shoulder drives forward. See that? The hand stays in the same spot. Drive the shoulder forward. You're crushing into the gun. I've got weight over onto my toes. Who wants to win $1 million? Ready, set, go. I'm a meat vise. I'm clamped where I need to. I'm strong, not just strong physically, but I'm strong here. Why? Because we are training to use these weapons to do really bad things to unrighteous people. As such, if you're not incorporating into your training, building your mindset to be strong, to win, to overcome, to push yourself through adversity, then you're training for weakness, friends. And I don't care how much gear you have on or how many followers you have, because my friends will probably kick your friend's ass. Mickey with carrytrainer.com. Think about what you're doing. And yes, this is a beautiful Radian weapons. This nice Night Force optic on here makes it pretty slick. Basic, sexy, top of the line. I got to say that too. Be well, be strong, don't be dickheads. Think about what you're doing. Peace.
You're headed to meet friends for drinks and are making a stop at a sidewalk ATM in an urban environment. Okay? You know where the basketball goal is, right? It's got the pole at the bottom that's wrapped. All you're going to do is walk straight up to that and withdraw your money from the ATM. Okay? Sound good?
Yep.
Any questions?
Hey man.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I ran out of gas in my truck.
Back there, buddy.
And I was wondering, man, can I get some money, man? I broke, man. So I broke down here about a couple days ago. And I was sleeping in the woods, but I ran out of gas, and I just need some money, man. Can you help me out?
I got nothing for you.
You're cool, man. I ain't gonna hurt you, man. I ain't gonna hurt you, man. I just need some money.
I got nothing for you. You gotta back up.
Give me some damn money, man. I know you got some money. Got some nice clothes on.
I got nothing.
I know you got some money, man. Come on, man. Help me out.
Back up.
Help me out, man. Just give me some money.
Nope, you gotta
I
back
won't
up,
hurt
man. I
you.
got nothing for you.
I won't hurt you, man. I won't. Oh, well, you got a gun, man.
What?
You got a gun.
I got nothing for
Why
you.
you got a gun on? Oh, why you got a gun on? You gonna
Bro, you
shoot
just gotta
somebody?
back up. I got nothing
You gonna
for
shoot
you.
me?
No, go on.
I mean, I ain't hurt you, man.
No, just go on.
I don't want to hurt you. I just need some money. I just need
Go
some
on,
money.
man. I got nothing for you.
Get on your ass on up out of here, dude. You don't give me no damn money. I don't want to see your white ass up in here anyway.
Back up.
Get out of here.
Back up.
End scenario.
Good job.
Good job, dude. Nice work. Any questions?
Well, yeah, I guess I got a question. So, like, in a scenario like that, in real life, you sort of were messing with your shirt where you possibly would be carrying a gun. Yeah. Am I in the wrong to do what I did? Because I flashed a weapon at you. I didn't pull it. Is that brandishing a weapon? Do I get arrested for that? If you turn around and go call the cops or start freaking out?
Time of day, location, right?
Right.
The activity or movements, if you will, or behavior of the individual who's coming at you maybe in a threatening way. If you can articulate all that. But did you shoot me?
No.
Okay then. I'm unarmed, right? That you know of.
Right.
Did I make movements? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to see how far I could push you.
Yeah.
But again, in that scenario, sometimes distance isn't your friend either, though. But you never know. You don't know what you're dealing with. I could have a hypodermic needle on me. You just never know what I could be doing. The best thing for you to do is just back out and just leave. If you've got a vehicle nearby, then just get in that vehicle and leave, or find your way as you're backing and keeping an eye on me and keep moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Keep an eye on me.
Right.
But as far as going to that situation where you feel like your back's against the wall, I mean, can you shoot someone who's unarmed?
Yeah, I guess if I could articulate that my life was in danger.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what would that entail possibly? Would it be what kind of violence against you?
Well, I think that you would have to be showing that you were, intent to kill me or
Like
to physically harm
physically
me.
attacking
right,
you?
which you had not done.
Right.
Yes.
But can someone overpower someone
Heck yeah.
and kill them barehanded?
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So could I have hit you, knocked you down, knocked you unconscious, and killed you?
Yes.
Or put you in a coma?
Yes.
What does it cost to fight back? What does it cost to not fight back?
Right.
Those are the questions you have to ask yourself, and you have to ask, what scenario. I can't say if this then that. I never can.
Right.
The scenario will always dictate. However, it's all depending on where your experience comes from, what your knowledge is, and what's the scenario, right?
Yep.
If you're in the middle of a rural or a urban area and you're going to an ATM, right? You're looking around, you're already very keyed in, but you're paying attention to what's going on around you, right? If you walk up and you see a scenario, you see a gas can, you see a vehicle parked by an ATM, what's self-defense is easily walking away.
Right.
And seeing that and going, you know what? And if you'd have done that, I'd have been clapping. If you'd have just said, nope, don't look right, and kept on walking,
Right.
that would have been the right answer too.
Okay.
All right, but we understand you get sucked into drills and scenario into these. Yeah, we got to roll on. So,
Good job,
good job,
Cool.
man.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.